Good morning, students. Now I am going to discuss about the long answer questions. There are two questions are there. First question is suggest measures to overcome the problem of an alcoholic. So we have to come to the page number 305. There are 4 points already I have discussed. Again I am going to discuss. There are 4 points have been given. First point is education and counseling. Education and proper counseling will help the alcoholics to overcome their problems. Alcoholics means those who are addicted to alcohol, to overcome their problems and stress, to accept failures in their life. That is of education and counseling. Second point, physical activity. Individuals undergoing rehabilitation should be channelized. Those who are undergoing rehabilitation, that means in rehabilitation center, if the persons are there, we have to maintain the healthy, we have to give them healthy activities like reading, music, sports, yoga and meditation. If we engage them in all these activities, they will be forgetting to have this addiction. So we can bring them in their normal life in these rehabilitation centers. So that is called a physical activity. Different types of physical activity, maybe reading the book, music, listening music, sports activity, yoga and meditation. Third point is seeking help from parents and peer groups. When a problematic situation occurs, alcoholic people, they will be not having any sense to when to do, what to do. So they may undergo certain problems. So when that situation occurs, the affected individual should seek help and guidance from the parents and their peers. Peers means close relatives, friends. So this would help them to share their feeling of anxiety, wrongdoing and get rid of the habit. Get rid of means they can be free from that type of problem or habit. Fourth point is medical assistance. Individual should seek help from the psychologists. Psychologist means what for the person who is treating the addicted person with psychology, mental treatment, and psychiatrists, some physical activity also to be given to get relieved from this condition and to lead a relaxed and peaceful life. These are the 4 points and the conclusive sentence. Alcohol de-addiction and rehabilitation programs are helpful to the individual, so that to the addicted individual, so that they could get rid of the problem completely and can lead a normal and healthy life. These 4 points along with this conclusive sentence to be written for that question. So that is the first 7 marks question. And the second one, changes in lifestyle is a risk factor for occurrence of cardiovascular diseases. Can it be modified? Yes, it can be modified. If yes, suggest measures for prevention. Already for 4 marks we have discussed the same answers to be written, page number 308. There are 3 points have been given. That is called the diet management. Next one is called physical activity. And third point is called addictive substance avoidance. All these 3 points if you will write, you will be getting the 7 marks. So this is overall this chapter. Other questions we will be discussing later. Now we can start the next topic, which is called the environmental management. So chapter number 22 or unit 22, name of that chapter is called environmental management. So first we have to know what is the meaning of this word environmental management. So the important word is environment and its management. So environmental management is necessary nowadays, because when the population is increasing, the resources which are present in environment are gradually depleted. Depleted means used. And the environment is under the problematic conditions. So, environmental management is necessary in the present situation. So, environmental management deals with different aspects of environment, its structure, function, its quality, and maintenance. That is called management, including maintenance, how to maintain, then conservation of its living and non-living components. That is called the environmental management. First, we have to know about the environment, its function, its quality, and after that, its maintenance. Maintenance is nothing but the conservation of its living and non-living components. Living means both plants and animals, living organisms, and non-living components, the physical factors, the soil, water, air, everything to be maintained, because both are interdependent to each other. Living and non-living components are interdependent to each other. The diversified natural resources on this earth provide the necessities for the survival of all forms of life. That's why I told the living and non-living components are interdependent on each other. Living components cannot survive without the utilization of non-living components, and non-living components are not having any existence if the living components are not there. Everything that comes from the nature has some utility for man, but its utilization is possible based on the availability of appropriate technology. So some of the resources can be renewed. Renewed means we can generate again and again simultaneously along with their exploitation. Exploitation is nothing but the using. If we are using, we can again generate it, we can renew it. Examples, that is forests, crops, wildlife, groundwater, wind, and solar energy. They can maintain themselves by natural recycling or can be replenished, can be recharged by proper management. Non-renewable resources cannot be recycled and can get exhausted by unlimited and continuous use. What are the examples of non-renewable resources? Examples are mineral ores, coal, petroleum, etc. So, examples of renewable resources and non-renewable resources to keep in your memory. They cannot be replaced easily. This would lead to a situation where non-renewable resources may come to an end after a certain period of time. So when the human population is increasing, they are utilizing all these resources, and one day the time will come, at that time we will be not able to get all these non-renewable resources. So the advancement of technology has taken place, and we have to use all these natural resources at a much larger scale. Continuous increase in population caused an increased demand for these resources. Therefore, conservation of natural resources makes important contribution to the social and economic development of the country. When the population is increasing, we have to utilize all these resources. But if we are not conserving or using the resources wisely, the economic development of the country also will be prevented or will be damaged. So that is the introduction about the environmental management. In our next part, we are going to discuss about the conservation and judicious use of this. Judicious means wisely. We have to use all these resources, and we have to conserve whatever is possible for future generation. Natural resources are conserved for their biological, economical, and recreational values. The use of natural resources in excess and unplanned way, misuse, leads to imbalance in the environment. A judicious balance should be maintained between the exploitation of resources, utilization of resources, and its recharge. Proper utilization and management of nature and its resources is termed as conservation. So we have to learn what do you mean by conservation. Conservation is nothing but the proper utilization and its management of nature and its resources is termed as conservation. We have to build a sustainable world which should last forever, that can survive for long years. Some of the ways to sustain continuous use of resources are practices to utilize energy efficiently, avoid wastage of water, avoid usage of plastics and other non-biodegradable materials, and to take care for the environment we live. It is important that we manage and use our resources carefully so as to preserve for the future generations. So till here this chapter started. Next class will be proceeding with this. Thank you, students.